A 48-year-old black CEO arrived at her own upscale hotel and was told, "Sorry, guests only, no walk-ins." She didn't argue. She didn't raise her voice. She simply made one phone call. And just like that, everything changed. She wasn't here for attention. She didn't want a red carpet or a welcome committee. All she needed was a quiet room, a soft bed, and a night to recover before a board meeting she hadn't initially planned to attend in person. But when Raina Sinclair walked through the sweeping glass doors of the Marquette Lux, a landmark 5-star hotel in Denver, Colorado, things didn't go as planned. She moved with a calm presence that didn't beg to be seen. Her shoes didn't click. Her tailored navy trousers were elegant but understated. Her white blouse, simple silk, hung effortlessly on her frame. No embroidered bags. No personal assistant. No designer labels screaming presence, just her. Carrying a weathered brown duffel over one shoulder, Raina looked like anyone else, perhaps even like someone who might be trying to belong. At the front desk, behind a gleaming slab of Italian marble, a young staffer with pink streaks in her braid and AirPods tucked behind one ear glanced up from her screen with automatic politeness. "Yes?" she asked, with scripted brightness. "Checking in?" Raina gave a gracious smile. "Yes, under Sinclair. Raina Sinclair." The girl typed, chewed on her gum, then frowned. "I'm sorry, I'm not seeing a reservation with that name." "That's okay," Raina replied, still patient. "There's always a suite set aside for me under the executive block." The girl raised an eyebrow and tilted her head. "Well, ma'am, we're currently full for the night. We really can't accommodate anyone without a confirmed booking. It's guests only." The tone was familiar, dismissive, slippery with the kind of authority given too easily. Raina's smile didn't budge, but the air shifted. She gently motioned her chin toward the large gold placard mounted behind the receptionist's desk. The Marquette Lux, a Sinclair property. "I am a guest here," Raina said softly. "And more than that, I own this property." The girl blinked, froze, then slowly smirked. "You own this?" she asked, motioning vaguely around the lobby, eyes scanning Raina's middle-grade duffel. Raina nodded. Calm. "Wanna..." The girl barely contained her skepticism. She picked up the phone. "I'm going to need to call the manager," she muttered, already turning. "Please do." Across the artfully quiet lobby, a couple in ski gear looked up. A man flipping through the paper raised a brow. Within minutes, a hastily dressed man came scurrying out from a hallway. Raina could feel it, that weight, that look. Someone's lying, and we think we know who. Behind the concierge desk, thin frame, nervous smile, nameplate, assistant manager, Zach Norwood. "Good evening," he said, a little louder than necessary. "Is there a concern with your check-in?" "She says she owns the hotel," the receptionist, Alyssa, according to her badge, said, unable to keep a hint of condescension from her voice. "I don't say," Raina interrupted firmly. "My name is Raina Sinclair. It's on every corporate ledger and the trademark registry. Sinclair Group owns this hotel. There's a suite blocked off for me on the top floor." Zach paled. Just give me one moment," he stuttered, then bolted for the office. Not hands-on, not aggressive, just there. One near the bar, one near the paneled hallway to the elevators, just in case it seemed. Still, Raina stood there with flawless composure. "In Marshall as Epia, Jiffy." She didn't sigh, didn't protest, didn't start recording. She simply walked slowly over to a marble column, dialed a number, and said 6 sharp, calm words. "I've been denied access. Fix it." The call lasted 27 seconds. No need to list credentials. No name-dropping. Just facts. And then she waited. 10 minutes later, both security guards had taken a step back. 15 minutes in, 2 crisp suits exited the elevator with urgent energy. Julia Tran, Regional Director. Marcus Delaney, District Operations VP. The building's pulse changed. The moment they entered. They didn't offer her a question. They didn't ask for confirmation. They walked straight to her. "Miss Sinclair, we are so sorry we just got the call," Marcus said, already motioning to Zach, nervously mumbling in the corner. "We're preparing your suite immediately," Julia added. "Your fruit tray and espresso setup are being sent up. Car is on standby in the AM for anything you need." Raina gave a small nod. "Thank you." Then she turned. Not to leave, but to watch. Because this wasn't about a bed. It was about something deeper. And everyone in that lobby was about to learn it the hard way. Zach had gone still. Alyssa's face had drained of every trace of smugness. He subtly pulled out her phone, fingers typing rapidly, probably Googling the name she had just dismissed 15 minutes ago. Sinclair Group, Marquette Lux, Raina Sinclair. And now she knew. But Raina didn't celebrate. She didn't change her tone. She didn't even raise an eyebrow. When Marcus returned with a set of polished brass keycards, Raina stepped to the desk. "I'll take the top suite," she said evenly. "Please have someone ensure it's been cleaned thoroughly. Same arrangement as usual." "Of course." "Done. Everything's being handled." Alyssa didn't even make eye contact. Raina took the key, quietly walked past the fireplace, stepped into the elevator, and left a maze of realizations in her wake. Fruit perfectly plated. Espresso machine neatly prepared. A handwritten note from the night staff, hasty but respectful. She walked the suite slowly, absorbing every detail. A house she had built. A dream she had realized. And still they didn't see her. Not until they were forced to. By 6:30 a.m., the lobby was quieter, still waking up from sleep, half-drunk coffees, guests with red-eye flights rolling bags behind them. Then the elevator doors parted. And this time, Raina Sinclair didn't walk off like a guest, she walked off like she owned the air in the room. Charcoal pantsuit, an ivory blouse. Heels that cracked the silence with every step. Heads turned, conversation stalled. Julia and Marcus were already waiting, folders in hand. Marta Patel from HR tagged beside them, lips tight and ready. Inside the small boardroom off the main bar, Zach, the assistant manager, looked like he hadn't slept. Alyssa looked pale. An untouched muffin sat in front of her. Raina didn't sit right away. Then she asked a simple question, low level. "Would someone like to explain what happened last night, from your perspective?" Silence stretched out. Long. Painful. Alyssa mumbled, when she walked in." "You didn't expect what?" Raina asked gently. Alyssa hesitated. "You didn't expect someone like me to own this building?" Alyssa nodded once, tears fighting their way out. "Was I rude to you?" "No." "Did I threaten anyone?" "No." "Did I speak out of turn?" "No, ma'am. I'm not here to humiliate anyone," Raina said, now sitting. "But I am here for accountability." Julia explained, the steps being implemented. Front desk recertification. staff-wide DEI training, suspension and review protocols. Reina nodded once. Lema fakat, menga dio. But then she turned back to Alyssa. Do you know how many times I've had to explain that I do belong? How many times I've been mistaken for the help in places I helped build? Every time it happens, I ask one thing. How can we grow new leaders if we never recognize who they already are? Alyssa just whispered, I'm sorry. But Reina leaned forward. I don't just want your apology, I want your awareness. Because respect shouldn't come after a Google search. It should come first. Later that morning, Reina found Alyssa alone in the employee lounge. This conversation wasn't on the schedule, but it was important. Can I sit? Yeah. Silence. Then, Reina asked softly, Have you ever felt invisible at work? Alyssa nodded. Most of the time. Then you understand how it feels. So don't become part of someone else's invisibility. She left Denver a few hours later and didn't look back. She didn't need to, because now they would remember her. Before boarding, she took her seat and opened her purse. Inside was a folded note. Miss Sinclair. Thank you for your grace. I'll be better. Alyssa, not corporate, not choreographed, just human. And in the end, that's what mattered most. To anyone who's ever had to prove their worth, their presence, or their right to exist where they stand, walk in anyway. Speak calmly. Hold your dignity close. Let others be uncomfortable, but never let them shrink you. Because when the world doesn't recognize who you are, you make sure they never forget it.